when the user whenever the user try to perform these select, insert, update, delete operations, okay, on particular table. So what it was happen, and the table, if it is not belongs to you, and the table is belongs to some other user, so other user tables, okay, we cannot select, we cannot insert, we cannot update, we cannot delete. So these operations we cannot perform on other user tables. Okay, no? And suppose you need to do these operations on other user tables, so definitely we require what now? The permissions from the user. So who is the owner of the table? Okay, so that owner permission we required to perform these operations. Okay, so that is what we discussed in the object privileges in the last class. Okay, and come to what is the syntax for this? Means we taken out grant object privilege names on table name to username. So this is what now the syntax of your object privileges. Okay, fine. And let me go. We will see the practically how to give the permissions to users when they want to perform some operations on the table. Okay, let me come out here. Okay, first I need to connect with your our administrator. Okay, so system, and he was our admin, and we are connecting with this. Okay, and whatever the tables was there in this okay admin user, so we taken out, and in this one of our table we said, okay, so one of our table, suppose if you want to go, the DEPT is one of table of this administrator. Okay, and this is one of your table. Suppose this table data, if other user want to access, okay, let me come out and see. The other user means I think we are creating in the last session. Okay, U1 user. So U1 by U1, he was. But in this user, if you want to see, is there any tables are there? Means so you have a tables T1 and T2. There are two tables, but there is no department tables. So if he was try to access DEPT table, he cannot because what it was saying the error table does not exist in your database. So in his database memo, that means user one user account. In user one account, there is no DEPT table, but it's try to accessing here. So in this case, what we want to do, suppose we need to access, definitely need a permission of administrator. Okay. So now see the administrator, how we will give it a permission. So system or tiger and connected, and you will give it permission is what now? Grant which permission selector. So just I'm following whatever the syntax was there here. Grant and your object privilege name on which table are you giving that permission, to which user are you giving the permission. Okay, now so this is what we called. And now we can come back and see select on which table DEPT to which user, U1 user. So grant is succeeded after that, succeeded here. Then he will be connected U1 by U1. He was connected. And after connected, he will be called the table DEPT, but still is not access. So yeah, the question is, sir, already system administrator was given granting permission, okay, na, on select command. But why still he was not accessing the table data? Why still he was not retrieving the table data? Okay, so it means that here he was directly calling the table. But if you directly calling means what Oracle server will think here, this table, when we call directly means when this table is belongs to U1. So when this table belongs to me, then I can directly call select star from my table name. But this table is not belongs to me. This table is belongs to someone. So that's why what we want to do, that someone, that means the owner, who is the owner of this table, that owner name you need to take a reference. That owner name you want to take a reference. Okay, now? So now this is what we called. And now we can go to send here. Now, how to retrieve means select a star from. Then, okay, so who is the owner of this table? System. System.dpt. Understand now? System.dpt. So select star from system.dpt to execute now. Then you can see, then he will be calling, okay, his table, and table information is calling. So here the point is, this table is belongs to system, and he is the owner of this table. So that's why whenever we need to call, that means user one, he tried to retrieving data from system table or from system user table, then definitely that user reference name should be taken. And this reference you are not taking, and we are calling directly department, then it doesn't go to access. So that's why compulsory what we want to do, we need to take a system is a reference name compulsory .dpt. Understand now? Now, so then it was taken out. So that means now this user is having the permission of which command? Select command. And he was having only select permission only given here. So your administrator was given only select permission, but he was not given any other permissions here. Okay, for example, suppose this user, he will be trying insert into system.dpt, sending values. Okay, suppose you are sending like 60 SAP, and the location, for example, HYD, he was sending like. So still he was using the system identity, that means the user reference name, he was taken .dpt table. Okay, but still what it was happening, you can see, it was showing that insufficient privileges. That means this U1 user is not having the permissions, okay, of which permission he was not having here, insert permission is not there. So you can't insert here, okay, it was showing insufficient privileges. In the same pattern, suppose you want to do update system.dpt set LOC is equals to, for example, I'm sending here Kerala. Okay, so where department number is equals to 10. And actually my department number 10 is new arc, but I'm going to execute this. Okay, it is also insufficient privileges. And same as if you try to delete from system.dpt, and I want to give where DEPT number is equals to 20, so you cannot delete. So that means as of now, this user is having the permission of which permission he was having here? Which permission he was having here? Come on. Yes. So he was having only select permission only, he was there. So other than select permission, there is no other permissions here. Okay, no? So that's why he can't do. So suppose you want to perform insert, update, delete also. Okay, then you want to take here. Okay, so what we want to use now? So again, we need to go for our, okay, admin. So again, I have to connect with my administrator. After connecting with admin, okay, now he was granting. So now he was giving grant insert, comma, update on DEPT table to U1 user. So your two privileges I'm giving now. So insert and update privileges I'm giving here. So after giving insert and update privileges, okay, now you can see that means this user can perform only insert, update, and previously select them. And now we can call. Now he was insert. Yes, successfully inserted. Now he want to update. Now successfully updated. And let me call this, both things are happening or not. You can see. Select a star from system.dpt and call. See, the new arc is changed as a Kerala, and a new record 60 was inserted into your table. Okay, no? Right. This is what it was happened. But he was when he was to, okay, delete, but delete is not possible. Understand now? And again, this delete operation also, he want to see. So now he was connected, system and Tiger. And now he will be giving granted the remaining one also delete, okay, on DEPT table to the user U1. Okay, now the grant is succeeded here. So after succeeded, again this user will come to you. So U1 by U1, and he try to delete now. So delete from. Okay, so who is here? System dot DEPT. So where department number is equals to some 50 or something, you can give it successfully deleted. And after deleted, okay, you can delete like this. So after deleted, you want to see the system, okay, dot DEPT. So 50 record successfully we deleted here. Understand now? Right. So now this is what it was going to be happen to perform here. Okay, now? Right. So now we can see guys here, after having these permissions, suppose you want to see, so this user is having how many permissions and what are those, so that kind of informations you want to see, then there is some data dictionaries are there now. Okay, now? So now data dictionaries are there here, and these data dictionaries we will be check it out. That means this U1 user, what type of privileges you have it here, what are those, okay, that kind of information do you want to see here. Then there is a one data dictionary is called as now, the data dictionary name is called as a desk user, okay, underscore, okay, the tab underscore privileges. So privileges underscore, okay, what is the next one we called as a made. So this is one data dictionary. Okay. In this data dictionary, you can see it, your user is having which kind of permissions here. So not made, received. Okay. So now we can go to execute. So these are some, what we can say, the table, data dictionary table columns are there here, owner and a table name, granted, privileges, grantable, okay, hierarchy, common, type. So these are inherited. Okay, these are what it was going to be, some columns of your data dictionary. Suppose I want to see the user one. Okay, now, so what kind of the permissions are there means, okay, here I want to call select. So who was given? That is called a granted. So granted, and granted means who was given here. Okay, and which privilege he was given, privileges. And next, on which table he was given, table name also. That means your grantor was given on which table. So table name. Okay, now, and from your data dictionary, user underscore, tab underscore, privileges underscore received. Okay, if I'm going to execute it up to here, so what it was happening, you can see. So carefully observe. So it's a grantor and privilege and table name. So who is a grantor? System is a grantor. Okay, the system grantor was given how many permissions here? The permissions, he was given delete permission on DEPT table, insert permission on DEPT table, select a permission on DEPT table, update permission on DEPT table. Okay, na? So that means grantor who was given. Who was given? System is given. Privileges. Which privileges? Delete, insert, select, update. These are the privileges. On which table? DEPT, 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 DEPT. So this kind of information you can see it. So who was given these permissions on which table? Okay, right. So now how we said here, suppose now whatever the permissions was given by system, okay, administrator to user U1, these are all 4 permissions are given. These permissions are if you want to cancel. So cancel means what you want to do. Okay, system and tiger. And how to cancel means which command we are using, cancel, revoke. Revoke, I'm using all keyword. Okay, when I'm using all keyword means what I said, there's a 4 permissions are at a time, it was deleted. It was a removed all permission. Suppose, sir, I don't want to remove. I want to remove only one permission. So which permission you want to delete? That permission command should be given. Suppose you want to delete all permissions, then I can use all. On which table? DEPT table. From which user? U1 user. From which user? U1 user. So now I'm going to execute it now. The revoke is done. Revoke, after revoke is done, now you can call your what we called as a data dictionary, you can call. So now what happened? This person, okay, this is system now. Okay, I have to go user one. Okay, in user one, he want to call this command. Okay, this command C, and he's having no permissions because all permissions are cancelled by your system administrator. So again, this U1 user, now we can see if use U1 user, you want it to call the table, even though system.dept, but he cannot call. Okay. So again, because of reason that all permissions which was given by, okay, your database administrator to user one, that all permissions are was cancelled by using of revoke command. So that is what I'm saying here. So here, whenever you want to cancel, so you can use here revoke, and here I'm using which keyword? All keyword. So that means I said already. So select, insert, update, delete, or all keyword. So in this, okay, either you can individually drop or individually remove your permissions. Otherwise, when I'm using all keyword at a time, these all permissions can be cancelled. Okay, na? So this is what we called as a object privileges. So in object privileges, we said giving by admin and also user. So this case is what now? Case one. I'm saying here case one. So who was giving case one? Database admin two, to whom he was given user. This is one case. Okay, whatever I was explained here, this is one case. I just go to take that all. Okay, so you need to do. So example on. So example on case one, administrator to user, how we will give it permissions. Okay. Now connecting with your admin, grant selection, and later he will go to connected and he will doing a operation. So this is just running notes, okay, no? But in your main notes, I was given step by step, but this just for your explanation notes I was given, okay, no? Right. So now later after that you were successfully granted. Suppose in the same case you wanted all the permissions like this, okay, and now we can go to if you was doing this operations. And what it was saying that when you was try to perform insert, update, delete permissions also, it was showing error. So when he was giving insert permission, so showing as error. Okay. So, and when he was performing update permissions, so again, he will get a error. And when he was perform delete operation, so again, he will get a error message. Okay. This is what. So these operations permissions, they want it. Then they will go for administrator, will go now. And he was giving grant permissions. Okay. Next, suppose you want to give insert, update, and comma delete also, you can try this. Okay. Then after you need to testing now your operations, whether, okay, you need to test now. So connect with your user, and after connected, perform your operation. So insert per operation. So insert operation you can perform now. Next, update operation also you can perform. Next, delete operation also you can perform. So now what it was happen, all operations can be allowed because after taking permissions, we can perform allowed. So insert allowed, and the next one is called as a updation allowed. Next one we called as a deletion allowed. Okay, so same as. And here same thing, how to revoke. That means my question is what now? How to cancel. How to cancel? Okay. So all permissions, all object privileges. Okay, from user. So if you want it like this here, then you have to go for to revoke option. You have to write. Okay, so connect with your admin and revoke. So this is the way you can revoke it all. Once revoke it all, then user come to user. Now user is connected now. After connected, he was performing any one operation, okay? Either insert, update, delete, and select any one operation, he will be performed. It was showing error. Okay, this is what. So these are object privileges. Okay, object privileges from whom to whom, database admin to user. But what I'm saying here, object privileges not only by administrators, even though users also they can give it. So that means one user will give to permission to other user to user permission. So the case one is what now? Admin to user. Now user to user I will give it now. Okay, second case number 2, user to user. Okay, so how they want to give user to user? So now you can see. So directly it was not possible, guys. Directly it was not possible. When user to user permissions, whenever we want to give it, okay, it's not possible. So see practical, I will show you. For example, okay, now we are going to be connecting. So another user also we created. So administrator has created another user. So user number 2 identified by user number 2. And he will give it some granting connectivity permission. So connect, okay, to user number 2. Okay, so now carefully observe. So user 1, okay, user 1, first I'm showing, he was tried to access department table of system user. Okay, not possible. Again, user number 2 also tried to access, okay, system dot DEPT. He is also unable to access. So user 1 is not having the permissions to give it. User 2 is also not accessing the table without permission. So that means now user 1 and user 2, both of them, they cannot access this table. Okay, so both of them he cannot access. Then user 1 he will try u1 by u1. Suppose he was granting, so grant select on system.dept to user 2. Okay, now so what he was going to do, user 1 is granting, that means your permissions are giving by who? Administrator or user? Come on guys, in this example, who was trying to giving permissions to user 2? Admin or user? Yes, user is giving permissions. So u1 user is giving permissions to u2 user. Understand now? But what happened you can see. So it was showing what now? Table or view does not exist. So that because this table is not belongs to this person, this table is belongs to system. But even though he was trying to using the system reference name also, but still u1 can't give us grant permission on this table to user 2. Why? Because user 1 is not having that permissions. User 1 is not having that permissions. So that means what you understand, whenever a user want to give permissions to another user, that user must be have a permissions from the database admin. Okay. So otherwise it cannot. So it means what I'm telling here. So user 1, he want to give permissions to user 2. Okay. Then this user 1 take permission from database administrator. Understand now? So when database administrator will give permissions to U1, then U1 will give to permission to U2. Then only possible. Otherwise, it is not possible. Got it my point now? Otherwise, it is not possible. Okay. So DBA, that means this person, okay, this person want to give permissions to other user. First, this person will take permission from admin. When administrator will give permissions to U1, then only U1 will give permissions to U2. Got it my point now? Then how this administrator will give? How this administrator will give permissions to U1? That means there is one statement we need to use. What is the statement here? Whenever database admin want to give permissions to another user, so there must be use one statement that is called a with check option statement must be used. With the check option must be used. Okay, so that means what I'm saying here, when a user receiving permissions, when user receiving permissions with the grant option statement, then that user okay, that user also give permissions to other user. Okay, na? Permissions to other users. So that means now this user, that means suppose user U1, for example, for your understanding, this is user U2. Understand now? Suppose when a user U1 receiving permissions with the grant option statement. So user 1, when it is possible to give permissions to another user, means when user 1 should be receive permission with what statement? With the grant statement. With the grant option statement, he want to take a permission. From where? From database administrator. Statement, I will give it for your understanding, from database admin. Then that user also giving permissions to other user U1. That user means who is this here? U1. Okay, then that user also give permissions to other user. Okay, so first he want to take a permission with a grant option statement from database administrator. Understand? Then only possible. So now database administrator, how to give? Now we can see. First he will give it. So connected system tiger. Okay, how to give it a grant? Suppose select on DEPT to U1 user. So up to here, if you leave, he can't give a permissions. Okay, suppose administrator will give permissions up to here only. Grant select on table to U1 means only U1 can access. But other person, that means U1 cannot give any permissions to other users. So that's why what we need to add here with the grant option, then only this user have a rights to give permissions to other user. Okay, when we are adding this statement, if you're not adding this statement, then user doesn't have a permissions to give object privileges to another user. So that's why whenever you want to receiving permissions from the database administrator, that permissions, how you will be received? With the grant option statement, he will receive. So when he will receiving with the grant option statement, then user 1 having a right to give permission to user 2. So my point is clear, all of you? Come on. Yes. So now we can see. Now he will receiving. So user one receiving permission from the administrator with the grant option statement. Then what happened? You can see grant succeeded. After that, U1 by U1 connected. After that, U1 by U1 connected. And he will call first of all. Select a star from system.dpt. Now tell me he can access now. Come on, guys. He can access. Yes, of course, he can access. So now he will be successfully access it. After that, what he want to do, he will give the grant and same permission. Which permission was taken? Which permission? Select a permission. Which permission was taken? That permission only he can give to other user. Okay. Now select on which table? System.dpt to U2. Now he will be granted. See, now he will be granted or not? Come on. Yes. After that, you can see U2 by U2. Okay. Then he will call now. How to call select a star from system.dbt. Then he can access. This is what this is the mechanism. Okay. How to give a user to another user. How to give permissions to a user to another user. So this is the way of a mechanism. Okay. Na? So these are what we called as guys here. Okay, so user creations and giving permissions to the user, system privileges as well as object privileges. Okay, na? Right. So this is what it was happening here. And now these users, I already last session in the early classes. Suppose you want to view all users. Okay, to view all users in Oracle data, and there is a one syntax was there. Okay, how you can see, I select. So this is already I given to you in early classes. Username from all underscore users. So this is our dictionary, and this is our data dictionary predefined table. Okay, now so administrator want to see system and tiger. Okay, so he will be writing like a select username from all underscore users. Now you can see you want to drop user, anyone you can drop. Suppose you can drop U1 and I use cascade. Cascade is a predefined keyword to whenever dropping your users. So now you can see like you can drop. So I'm just dropping this. U1 and U2 users can successfully drop, and dropping or not you can see. And now see, now we have a 40 okay users and there is the U2. Okay, so 32. Okay, now so this is viewing syntax, and next one is how to drop a user. And the syntax is what now? Okay, drop user and should be give username and cascade. So example, drop user, so U1, and I want to give cascade. Okay, now so these are belongs to user creations and how to give permissions to the users that we discuss. And the next one is that is called as a roles. That is called as a roles. Okay, so what is role? Generally, these roles are who will created, when he will created. Okay, the purpose of role creation is what? Okay, no? All right. So basically, you're observed when you're working in real-time companies. Okay, now when you're working in real-time companies, what it was happen? So many employees are working on the same project. Okay, for example, let me see. Some X project is there. Some X project is there. So in this X project, okay, so on this X project, there are a number of employees are working. Okay, for example, generally in companies, what it will happen. So project is nothing but not only one person can develop. It's a group of people. It's a teamwork. Yes or no? It's a group of employees will be developing a project. So first your project lead, what he will do. So whatever the project was there, this project will be divided into some modules. Okay. No? So for example, module 1. Okay, module 1. Next module number 2. Next module number 3. There are 3 modules. It was divided. Okay, it was divided into 3 modules. Okay, now fine. So now each module assigning to some group of employees. Okay, now as per their strength, they can. Suppose assume that for module 1, they assigned 4 people. That means 4 employees, for example. They assigned 4 employees. Okay. And module number 2, the module number 2, they assigned, for example, 3 employees. And next to module number 3, they assigned, for example, 5 employees. Okay. So like they will be divided your project. So your project is divided into small modules here. The 3 modules they divided, and each module they assigning some employees, some group of employees, and these are called teams. So here how many teams are there? Come on, guys. Here how many teams? Yes, there is a 3 teams are there here. There is a 3 teams are there. Okay, fine. After that, what it was happening, you can see. Suppose in the first team, 4 employees are working. Module number 2, on this module, 3 employees. Module number 3, 5. But can you tell me this 4 plus 3 plus 5, total 12 members? These 12 members working on same project or different project? Come on, guys. Working on same project or different project? Yes, same project working. Okay, you just keep it like this. Then what it was happen? Certain period of time, what it was happen? These group of people, for example, they wanted one permission. They wanted which permission? These 3 people wanted a connectivity permission. Understand my point? These 3 people wanted a connectivity permission. Okay. So it means that same permission, that means same privilege, wanted a number of people. Is it right? Same permission wanted a number of people. Is it right? See my point, understand? Here 3 employees are working on same project. Suppose these 3 employees wanted a database connectivity permission. Now got it now? These 3 people wanted a database connectivity permissions. That means suppose 3 people means first employee, second employee, third employee. These 3 people wanted a database connectivity permission. That means same permission they want it now. These three people wanted same permission or not? Come on. Now understand now? So the three employees wanted same permission. Which permission? Database connectivity permission they wanted. Okay. So now in that cases, what the people will do, okay, the administrator, what they will do, they will create some role. They will create some role. Understand now? So they created some role on this permission, that role assigning to group of employees. Okay, that role assigned to group of employees. That means what now? What is a role? Here observe. Role is a collection of privileges. Is a collection of privileges. Okay, giving to group of users. Giving to group of users at a time. Group of users at a time. Okay, role is a collection of privileges giving to group of users at a time. Understand now? So now how it is, carefully observe. So this is some explanation. Okay, just now suppose what I'm saying here, practical I will show, then you will get some idea. Carefully observe. Suppose administrator is, okay, he's admin. Now I'm creating first initially 3 users. I'm creating user 1 identified by u1. Okay, same as I'm creating another user number 2, and permissions are user number 2. Next, same as user number 3, and next permissions of user number 3. Okay, now 3 users created, fine. But administrator is not giving connectivity permissions these 3 users. Okay, then what it was happen? These 3 users are connecting or not connecting? These 3 users are connecting to database or not? Come on. Now you try with connected or not connected. U1 by U1 error. Connected. U2 by U2 error. Connected. U3 by U3. Okay, error. So the 3 people unable to connecting to my database. Got it? Then what we want to do now? Now we need, that means these 3 users are wanted same permission now? Yes or no? Same permission now? Yes. They wanted a same permission. So now same permissions, when they wanted, that means some group of employees wanted same permission. So then database admin, what they will do, he will create it on the permission, they will create a role. And they will create a role and keeping in their database. And whenever that permission wanted to group of people, then directly role is assigned. Again, he was not going to be individual grantings are not required. Individual grantings are not required. Direct role is assigned. Okay. Now in this case, what I am doing here, observe how to create a role. Okay. So here observe. If database admin want to create a role, okay, we need to follow the following 3 steps. The following 3 steps you want. Step number 1. What is step number 1? Create a role. This is step number 1. So what is the syntax? My syntax is, so create a role and give it a role name. Step number 2, assigning, okay, permission. That means assigning privileges. Assigning privileges to role. Assigning privileges to role. So how to assigning, sir? So I'm going to assigning permissions to role. Okay, syntax. What is the syntax here? So I'm giving grant privilege